9 months is a school term. There's no way something doesn't happen here.
That's it. That's my intro.
Hi, I'm Mindy, watching Swell Entertainment. Today we are talking about the 9-month world cruise that just took off about a week ago now, at the time we're recording this. And we're talking about this because a few people were like messaging me, wondering if I was on the boat. I would do the long con, a 9-month long con. That's pretty standard for me. Okay, 9 months. It's not outside the realm of possibility of how long I'm willing to keep a bid up, but it would be a massive damper on most of my content for me to do a 9-month cruise. So really quick, let me tell you about the sponsor for today's video, Squarespace. Have you ever thought about setting up a website, but you weren't really sure where to start, whether this was for a blog, an online store, or just a place to help grow your online empire like me with what I've done with SwellEntertainment.com? Well, then Squarespace is perfect for you. They have tons of flexible website templates, and with Fluid Engine, you can customize any part of the site that you want. You can run email campaigns, set up or continue to run your online store, and even start selling merch. Go to squarespace.com for a free trial, and when you're ready to launch, go to squarespace.com/swellentertainment to get 10% off your first purchase of a domain or website. Thank you again to Squarespace for sponsoring this video. Oh, they didn't sell this as a reality show? I don't know. But if there's not cameras on board this boat, there needs to be. Because like I said in the opening, this is 9-month cruise. That's a school year. That's a lot of time for things to happen and go wrong. This is from Royal Caribbean. All four corners, one epic voyage, the ultimate world cruise. 274 nights, 11 world wonders, 60 plus countries. The most epic world cruise ever to set sail. Immersive sailings ranging from 9 to 28 nights. I could do 28 nights. Oh, that's so doable. That's way less than I thought it would be. I could hop on for a little bit in our next episode. So there's apparently a slight discount if you pay in full right up front, but it's typically one of those things where it's like not that much money difference. It's 10%, which for some people is a lot. But when you're spending this much money, interior stateroom, this is the cheap option, okay? Which means you don't really get a window, is my understanding. $59,000, basically $60,000 per person. Which is why when I saw the prices for the individual segments, I was like, that could be worse, because that's insane.
Keep that little note in mind. It will come up again later.
So let's say like that's 9 months worth of rent for $59,000, let's see. So let's just round it up. 60,000 divided by 9, $6,666 of rent a month, basically. Living expenses, essentially. But also you're traveling, you're seeing the world. There's always going to be additional optional paid excursions for these things as well. But you also get, I think there's the unlimited drink package that some people talked about. Certain food is included, certain food is not. Paid restaurants versus unpaid restaurants. The laundry service. I'm not going to tell you if this is a good or not deal because this is 9 months of your life. So that's for the cheapest option. The most expensive option is the junior suite. That is about $117,000 per person, about, for the lead rate. Things get cheaper as you break down like the different segments. So for one segment, what they're on currently is the Ultimate Americas. For the interior stateroom, it's about $14,000 per person.
Okay, so several things here. Basically, they have only sold about 700 for the Around the World cruise itself. Everyone else on board is only on board for a couple of segments. And in an effort to try and fill up the cruise, apparently Royal Caribbean discounted the segments severely to try and get people on board the boat for the entire cruise, essentially. So a bunch of people who paid for the Around the World realized that if they canceled their Around the World and then bought by segment, they would actually be saving quite a bit of money. So that was step number 1. 2 is apparently no one on board, or at least some of the people that are on board, do not understand how loyalty programs work, because they're mad that the highest loyalty people for Royal Caribbean are getting like the best treatment or are being invited to special meetings and things like that. I don't know what to tell you. That's not shocking to me. That's really not surprising at all. Every single travel company has a program like that. And yes, obviously the tippy top people get treated better because they have spent the most money with the company. That's not a shocking tea thing to me. It's shocking that you didn't know that, really. But yeah, of course, if this is your first Royal Caribbean cruise, you're not going to get as many perks as the people who have been cruising with them for literal years, maybe over a decade.
Let's do a ship tour of our new home for the next 9 months. We started off by going to Deck 2, which is where they have the medical facility and then the Centrum boarding area. Then head up to Deck 4 to see the Centrum, which is like the main lobby where they have guest services, a bar, and a photography station for you to get those professional photos while on your trip. The Centrum is also just the main meeting area for any big party that the ship is having.
So Brooklyn is the one that pops up first when you search World Cruise. And I believe it's her and her sister and their parents that are aboard the boat currently. Like one of the comments on this video is, I feel like the 9-month cruise is the new Bama Rush. Yes, I can't wait for some of these people to get more famous than others. I can't wait for some of them to get brand deals and others. I can't wait for some of them to date. Has anyone done a pineapple scan yet where you go and check for pineapples? Do not post the room numbers if you find pineapples. Basically, the upside down pineapple is a swingers reference. And it's very common on cruises, allegedly. My friend Margot is very concerned. So people were tagging me in her video because they don't know we're friends, which is very funny.
I'm nervous about this 9-month cruise. And I just think we need to be careful with pushing the limits of cruising because it doesn't seem to go well. Pushing the limits of nautical exploration, I guess I should say. In the year of the submarine fiasco, let's not do a 9-month cruise. People who are on this cruise, they are not influencers. They got 9 months to figure it out, but they are not. People are asking questions. Number one, how much did this cost? First woman I see says, I'm not going to discuss how much this cost. Babe, you showed me where you kept every toiletry in your cabin and your tragic story of how you came into money because both of your parents passed away and that's why you're on this cruise and your own medical history, and you won't tell me how much this room cost?
It'll be fascinating to see how long, because people are eventually going to get sick of each other. 9 months. Because it's one thing when you go to school with someone for 9 months and you just don't like them. It's another thing when you're on the same boat with them. What if you're on the same floor with them and you just start hating them? It'll be fascinating to see how many people are able to do this because someone's gonna get bored, that happens occasionally for people when they're traveling constantly. And I saw this when I did my cruise. There were couples that I met. We went to the Earl of Clam's castle, in Austria. And I was really excited. I was talking about it. We were talking about I was really excited to be there. And I was taking photos and asking questions and all this stuff. And they just seemed quiet. And this is a couple that this one couple in particular was one that they're very vibrant couple, wonderful, basically became my best friends this whole trip. And I was like, oh, are you guys not having fun? Because it's just totally different. They're just when you've seen certain castles, this is boring compared to what else we've seen. Castles got boring for them because they were used to it. Because it was in the same year, the amount of traveling that they had done, this was boring for them. And that's crazy to me. But imagine 9 months where you're just seeing crazy thing, incredible thing, incredible thing, incredible thing after a certain point. Someone's gonna get bored. Or what happens if one person in your family gets bored? Because I know that I could travel for probably the rest of my life. My dad would get bored. I know he would. He would want his bed. There's certain people that I think could handle a 9-month cruise, but they're not the same amount of people that I think could afford or would pay for a 9-month cruise. Does that make sense? So the people that are bored, we're seeing the young perspective more than anything. There's going to people that go crazy.
Hi guys, here is a little what I ate in the day on the 9-month cruise. So today was a cruising day and we had a lot of work to do, so we just opted for eating at the Windjammer, which is the buffet area.
There's some people who are you can tell this is their job. They are content creators, they are world travelers, they are travel influencers. And then there are some people where you can tell they have never edited a video in their life. And that's whose videos I want to see. I want to see if you blossom into this and you start running this ship like the content creator Navy. Or I want to see if you stop posting on day 20 and we never hear from you again, okay? You're still on board. You're enjoying yourself, but you're not posting to TikTok anymore. That's what I want to know.
Oh, we got pins? It's our
No way!
World Wonders pin.
Stop. How
And then
cool.
we got... Oh, they sent us passport holders?
It's funny because when this first started being talked about, I thought it was the other cruise. In November, there was an announcement that a certain cruise was going to be pushed postponed. Okay, the takeoff date. Okay, the embarkment date, if you will. All right, I think that's the word. And that is when I learned that something that I heard about in passing probably a year or so ago was actually going to happen, allegedly, and it hadn't. And now it has since been canceled. There was a 3-year cruise that was supposed to take off in November, and it didn't. The 3-year cruise is canceled from Julia Buckley. They had signed up for the experience of a lifetime, 3 years traveling the world from the comfort of a cruise ship at prices that rivaled regular living expenses. But now the dream is over for passengers who signed up for the Life at Sea Cruises inaugural 3-year voyage. After weeks of silence, the company has acknowledged to passengers that it has no ship and has canceled the departure, vowing to refund those who signed up for the cruises, costing up to hundreds of thousands of dollars. Some of the passengers who booked the 111 cabins sold are still in Istanbul, having made their way there ahead of the original departure date, which is fairly common. Others say they have nowhere to return to, having sold or rented out their homes in anticipation of the around the world voyage. Most have spent tens of thousands of dollars on what was meant to be the experience of a lifetime and now face a wait of at least 7 months to get their money back. No, see, that's when we hear the words class action lawsuit. There's a whole lot of people right now with nowhere to go, and some need their refund to even have a place to go to. It's not good right now, said one passenger who wished to remain anonymous until they get their promised refund. Bitch, I'd be on CNN with my full face out. Hi, I'm showing up at your house. Give me my money. This is like literally what I talk about so often with events that fail because of attendance issues. You never sell tickets before you book the venue. You don't sell cabins before you have the boat. Back to the cruise. That's where I think this also is like people have questions. It's like you have this cruise that is taking off. What is it with the around the world cruises? Have they really not done around the world cruises before? I guess not of this length, but a 9-month is drastically different than a 3-year cruise. But that's what I thought this was at first. I was like, oh, did they do a 9-month version? No, this is a completely separate thing. And so if they are able to pull this off, I don't think this will be the extent of what we see cruising try and pull off. They will try and get to like that multi-year thing. Because the thing with cruises that I've learned is that there is apparently a growing number of elderly, I guess you could say, rather than live in old folks' homes, they just go on cruises like their entire lives. Your new retirement home could be a cruise ship. And frankly, this is my plan. Cruise ships offer many of the essential elements older Americans need to thrive: organized activities, a decent level of medical care, and most crucially, a built-in community of like-minded travelers. Upgraded connectivity has also allowed semi-retired cruisers to be based at sea while still working. For nearly 2 decades, Jeff Farshman, 72, has spent his golden years, like many other adventurous retirees, enjoying leisure cruises to exotic ports of call. But unlike many of his fellow cruise passengers, Farshman basically lives at sea. He spends months traveling the world's oceans and waterways, half of the year, if not more. Although he still keeps a physical home near where he grew up in Delaware, Farshman is now part of a growing cohort of older folks who are literally retiring on cruise ships. Living on a ship was not exactly what Farshman had in mind when he first began cruising, but the former vice president at Lockheed Martin, you motherfucker. I must have missed that one when I pulled up. We're focusing on the phrase former. Almost 20 years later, Farshman, I don't want to read about this guy anymore. There's people that like retire on cruise ships, essentially, is the point. Sorry, before we got jump scared by Lockheed and Martin.
Who's distributing the World Cruise bingo cards? Well, it turns out I am. Screenshot at the end of the video. So this was highly requested, and let's see if we all actually intend to really follow along the World Cruise situation for the next 9 months.
So here is Ria Fia's World Cruise Bingo. Follow and check all the boxes. This is the bingo card, okay? It includes things like someone goes home early. That's a given. Someone's gonna get bored. Someone's gonna get tired. Someone's gonna get sick. Someone's gonna get homesick. There's gonna be a divorce probably. I don't know. Something's gonna happen. Someone's gonna go home. Now, obviously, there is a high likelihood that of even, I think it's 10 or 12 people that are documenting this via TikTok. They're not going to get the tea out of everyone, but at a certain point, people are going to realize who's at least in their block of cabins, probably, who's in their friend group. They're going to make their own friends on board, things like that. There's going to be falling outs, okay? But like, surely things will get around, is my point. Someone loses, quits their job, likely. That's very likely. Viral outbreak at sea. Yeah, this will be a petri dish. Okay, this will happen. It'll start with a cold. It'll be something like that.
Apparently, a crew member already tested positive for COVID.
On a ship like this, I mean, they're either going to have bulletproof immune systems after this, or they're all going to get sick. TikToks with complaints about cruise food, probably going to happen at some point because people get sick of things. But if most cruises swap things out, so we'll see. Clothing swap takes place. Ooh, that would be kind of cool if someone starts doing like a little boutique out of their cabin. Someone misses the boat. That's bound to happen. Group tattoos, please, dear God, no. Dating relationship starts with some of the cruisers. I remember several videos a year or so ago, I want to say, from a girl who went on a cruise ever since cruises have like really popped back up. And she was talking about how she like in the 5 days she was on this cruise because of how many people were, she met a guy, started dating him. She cheated on him with someone else. And then they broke up. And then there was someone else where they start another video where it's like, oh yeah, a girl was there with her boyfriend and like some girl tried to like swoop in on her boyfriend while they were like looking at like the security cameras or something as like a joke. But then they saw her boyfriend and that this girl was like hitting on him or something. So she rushes out there. My point is that for some reason, this is like worse than high school with cruise ships because you're in such a bubble. It's like The Bachelor on crack. You're in such a bubble that like this is your whole work life, home life, school life, all of it. You will, how do you do school with this? Because some of the kids are young, it seems. I haven't seen like any children, but like some of these people are young. Are they in college? There's definitely going to be relationships. There's going to be multiple relationships. There's going to be a affair or two. I want to see the cruise YouTubers. Have you guys seen these channels? There's a couple, if you literally search like cruise YouTube channels, there are several cruise creators. I will link two below that I like, that I think are fun. One of them did a breakdown about this video that went viral, I think on like Fighting Twitter a few years back or a few months back. Earlier this year or late last year, there was a fight on a cruise ship in one of the bars where I think it was like there was someone was flirting with someone else's wife or something, or like maybe they had slept with someone else's wife or something, and like a full-on brawl broke out. So that's more likely, I think. Influencer collabs at sea. Yeah, if I was them, I would literally make a lunch table and that's our table because I think that would be hilarious. Tragic incident on board. I don't want to put money on that, but maybe. Surprise pregnancy. Okay, so that was one of the other things people said because you can basically, if you time your pregnancy, okay, because you can't be on the boat apparently in the last trimester, so like the last 3 months essentially. So if you get pregnant now, then you would have to leave before the end of the cruise. If you get pregnant about 3-4 months in, then you get pregnant, then you can enjoy the rest of the cruise. So just think about, what type of zodiac child you want to have and then go from there. 5+ clubs formed between cruisers. How there's not, like, will there be a next door neighborhood for this cruise? Like, there's a group chat somewhere.
Oh my God, I've got some ultimate whale cruise tea. So one of the guests on board is anonymously posted on a forum, and it sounds like some people's behaviour on board is just not acceptable.
This video is long and breaks everything down. I'll have a link down below, but basically it sounds like there was someone who was holding the elevator for a person in a wheelchair, and then right as the doors were opening and the person in the wheelchair was getting into the elevator first, two people ran in and like closed the doors and like were like, okay, bye, and like we're just talking shit.
I've got a treat for y'all because I compiled all of the Ultimate World Cruise TikTok handles of everyone who's posted or anyone I could find.
Interesting that this is happening now. It's interesting that this is an around the world cruise when the around the world 3-year cruise was also discussed. Now this has probably been promoting for years. If I was a blogger specifically, like a freelance journalist, I would get my ass aboard this ship as soon as possible. Tell me that this is not an incredible beat. Literally just have someone on cruise watch. That's where this will be interesting, is if these influencers are able to maintain attention past the next month. Okay, through the new year at the very least. I don't know. It's one of those things where it's like we're in like Margot said, like we're in the year of the submarine, then this is happening. The other cruise just failed. The start of this having attention is one thing. Maintaining attention before something horrible happens will be something else. So that'll be interesting to see more than anything. Influencers, I would make a group chat on site so that you can all talk shit and give us data. That would be nice. Like, sure, show us the places you go. That would be cool. But also I want to know what's happening on the boat. Stay tuned to see if I end up on this boat for a limited amount of time. Have you heard about the world cruise? Have you heard about the 9-month cruise? Are you concerned? Are you not concerned? Do you think this is stupid? Do you want to be on this cruise? Do you think the amount is stupid? It's a lot of money, but it's for a lot of time. But it's like, I've been seeing a lot of people that are there with like whole families, which is crazy to me. Let me know your thoughts. Comment down below. I will link the TikTok with the bingo card in it if you would like to participate in the bingo card. Reminder, I have a podcast, Swell Shenanigans. Reminder that Swell Entertainment is now available on Spotify. Reminder, I am now streaming on Twitch. Reminder that I have merch. Shout out to my patrons. Thank you so much for supporting me on Patreon. Also, explore on Patreon. Link is down below. Like to my social media. That'll be up here. And that's going to have all the day. Goodbye. For the influencers, I don't want to hear about how you have a crush on someone. I want to hear about who you've decided is your worst enemy on board. That's more fun.
Abby, Adira, Amy, Andrew, Angel, Aslan, Cameron, Corey, Donnie, Elliot, Glenn, Goth, Jasmine, Kenny, Lauren, Literal, Madeline, Mae West, Medic, Micah, Michael, Nathan, Palace, Pink, QWERTY, Rachel, Randy, Robert, Rosie, Ryan, Sam, Skylar, Tasha, Tenzin, Thomas, Heavenly, Victor, Winter, Zwink.